I want to do something tonight for you that I wrote. When I was starting my musical journey, somewhat early on, for 6 years I lived in Shenandoah National Park at Skyland up there, and I lived there. I performed 6 nights a week with the guitar and later with the mountain dulcimer and the hammer dulcimer. But I think being there and working with the naturalists, I worked with them in some children's programs and so forth, and all these people, and I wanted them to know more, the people, the visitors there, more about the park, rather than the Skyline Drive. And Skyline Drive takes us through there, but the park and its story. So back then, I was there from 1972 through the season at 1978 before I kind of hit the road. Well, early on, around maybe 72, 73, somewhere in there, I decided I was going to write a story about Shenandoah, and I did. I think it was the first thing I ever wrote. But when I left the park, then many a year passed and I never did it anymore. So 30-some years passed, and a friend of mine said, "That story you used to do about the park, why don't you do it again?" I said, "Well, I'm not working in the park." He was saying, "I don't care, do the story." And he was after me for about a year, and so about 3 years ago, I dragged out those papers and that little story that I had written about that beautiful, beautiful place that means so much to us. And so this is a Shenandoah story. I was born in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains. I entered the world on a spring day many years ago when the wind blew and the sun gave promises of summer days to come. Well, for my first years in the Blue Ridge, I loved the mountains. I loved the earth beneath my feet, the wind when it tossed my hair, and the rain when it was gentle against my face. Well, in my early days, the earth was good and yielding, and poor was only a word which the unknowing world used to describe the Blue Ridge folk. Poor? Why, we ran free with the wind as a companion. We painted the earth with sky colors during each sunrise and sunset. We chased clouds through the meadows and the mountains, and we watched the rain and the sun. Well, in those days, some of the people said that we were very poor. Poor? Why, we ran free with the wind as a companion, and we painted the earth with sky colors during each sunrise and sunset. We chased clouds across the mountain ridges, filling the hollows and the Shenandoah Valley with the music of childish laughter. I was young, and the Blue Ridge Mountains were old, and yet they were younger than I. In the morning of the mountain, in the springtime of my being, on a day when sunshine calls me, when waterfalls are seen, then I walk and I run and I laugh and I sing, for today in my life I am free. I am free. There's a saying in the mountains that the time to marry is when the serviceberry blossoms in the spring. For by that time the snow is mostly gone and a preacher is able to brave the mountain paths to conduct the wedding service. Well, the spring of my 17th year found me marrying a young man I had known all of my life. We had very little money and only a small cabin with which to begin our life together. But the grandest home in all of Virginia could not have held more love and home. Well, in those days, some of the Blue Ridge people worked in the Shenandoah Valley or the Piedmont. Others worked at Skyland Summer Resort, which became a part of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the early 1890s. We picked apples, wove baskets, sold chestnuts and berries, made chair seats and chair backs from white oak splints. And some of us produced good moonshine whiskey. We had very little money, but life was good. We could taste the goodness of wild grapes or honey or hickory nuts, and we shared what we had with our neighbors. But the years passed, and the earth, which had given so much, grew tired, and the Blue Ridge people slid towards numbing poverty. The chestnut blight damaged all the beautiful and important chestnut trees, and this threatened to chain us to the present with not much hope for the future. And I thought of my children. What would become of them? I dreamed for them. I wanted them to follow life paths they chose, not to be forced, simply to survive. And yet, I wanted the mountains always to be a part of them. But in the quiet nights, I put my youngest children to bed, and I thought, and I feared. Oh, scented grass in the wild mountain meadows sways gently in breezes touched warm by the sun, and my child rests in quiet sleep, innocent slumber, held in love by his mother since his life was begun. And the whispering trees, the laughing clear streams, bring peace to my child as he innocently sleeps. May you hope, may you love, may you dream all your life. Love, I go to sleep, my lovely young child. I heard the quiet talk at first. It was whispered among the hills that our homes might be taken from us. But I understood so little of all that was happening. Then in 1926, President Calvin Coolidge signed a paper which said our Blue Ridge Mountains would become Shenandoah National Park. But the land must be given without cost to the federal government. So the people of Virginia raised over $1 million, and the land occupied by the Blue Ridge folk was bought from us. And so all of us, except for the elderly, were moved to nearby hollows, valleys, and towns with opportunities for new beginnings. Well, I couldn't understand, and I was hurt and angry and afraid. For my family had lived in the mountains for generations. I couldn't understand what a national park could possibly mean to us. But the years passed, and I saw my family develop new lives and live in new places. But the love of the earth remained with us, and the Blue Ridge Mountains always at home. I am now old. I come home to Shenandoah. I stand in the hills and I watch clouds sweep through the Shenandoah Valley, and I see a river called Shenandoah roll lazily against the nearby MacNeil Mountains. I breathe air sweetened with honeysuckle, and I touch the rough bark of hemlock trees aged and wisdom. And I hear the sound of children who come to Shenandoah from all over the world, and the mountains are filled once more with laughter and singing and the innocent freedom of childhood. I come home to Shenandoah. I feel the essence of this place, where time is gently measured by the fall of leaves and petals and the touch of snow and rain. And I understand. I am now old. My Blue Ridge Mountains are old.